Hello and welcome back to the Sports Network. I'm Bethany, your host, and today I'm going to tell you some sports romance. I am so cheesy. Okay, anyways. Hello guys, I'm Bethany. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a very fun video. I feel like I have been thinking about doing this for a bit. Made a list on my notes app and just haven't filmed the video, but today is the day and I'm so excited. So I'm gonna be telling you my favorite sports romances. I love sports romances. I think they're like my guilty pleasure because I love them. Like I literally eat them up every single time. I read so many. Doesn't matter the sport. I love them all. So I'm gonna be telling you my favorites. All of these books I love so much. Highly recommend if you're looking for sports romance. They also have just great romance along with the sports. I don't think they're like super heavy on the sports, but you still get that aspect of the book. I also separated these into the sports categories. So I have hockey, football, golf, basketball, baseball. Yeah, I think that's it. I also separated the hockey into college hockey and professional hockey because I feel like those stories are very different. Like sometimes you want like a college vibe where they're in college, they do things like that. And then you want like a professional hockey where they're more adults, like they're in their late 20s, early 30s. So I feel like those vibes are different. So I separated college hockey and professional hockey. So let's just get started. I am so excited to talk about these books. I just love sports romances. They're so good. So let's get started. So first, I'm gonna give you my favorite, probably my favorite sports romance of all time. Like I love these books so much. Also, a lot of these are interconnected standalones, which probably is annoying, but you definitely don't have to read them in order. You should, but you definitely don't have to. So we're gonna start with the college hockey, but probably my favorite sports romance series of all time is the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. I love these books so much, and I'm very like late on the game reading these books because they did come out like years and years ago, but in November they changed the covers, so they have beautiful new covers that are illustrated. They have like sprayed edges. The first print run had sprayed edges. I don't know if you can still buy them. If they have them at your store, you definitely can, but they might have sold out. Anyways, but these are college hockey, and basically you're following each hockey player. They are best friends, roommates, and you're just following their love story. I don't think I'm gonna tell you what these books are about because honestly I feel like you should just go in blind because when I went into the store I didn't know who it was about, which was fun. So basically these follow just different players on the team and you see them in the books as you go along. These do have spice. I do have a good bit of closed door recs as well, but this is like a pretty spicy series. Not a ton of spice, but like maybe like a 3. Well, 2.5, 3 on the spice scale. Not a ton. Well, yeah, I don't know. But I just love these books so much. They're like a fun time. Like you're laughing, having a good time, giggling, kicking your feet. But they also have emotional depth. They have heavier topics talked about. So maybe check out trigger warnings and the deal for sure. And also maybe the score. But I just love these books so much. I feel like I rave about them all the time. They're some of my favorite books of all time. Literally yesterday, I pulled out the deal and the score and just reread some of my favorite scenes because I love these books so much. They just feel like comfort reads to me and I love them. And then The Legacy is the novella that takes place like 3 years after the Off-Campus series, which I really did enjoy this as well. If you love Off-Campus books, you should read The Legacy because it's a great grand old time. And then also the Briar U series by Elle Kennedy. This is after the Off-Campus, so I would recommend reading it after the Off-Campus if you want to read it. And this is following like side characters from these books. Same thing, interconnected standalones, college hockey players. Some of them are roommates, and then you're just following all their love stories. I think there's 4 books. And there's also emotional depth, things like that, trigger warnings in those as well. Not like super heavy, but I would just be aware of that. And I would, if you're gonna read all of these books, there's a lot of them, but if you're gonna read all of them, I recommend reading the first 4 Off-Campus, then the Briar U, and then the Legacy because it's going in timeline order, if that makes sense. Like in the 3 years between Off-Campus and this, the Briar U series is happening, if that makes sense. And then Elle Kennedy is coming out with a new series, and this is the first book, The Graham Effect. And this follows Hannah and Garrett's daughter from The Deal. And I read it this month and it is so good. I loved it so much. I loved seeing Garrett and Hannah and like the characters from Off-Campus in this book. Oh my goodness, I'm obsessed. When I saw Dean's name, I just love him so much. Yeah, this is about Gigi Graham and Ryder, and they are both hockey players. So I feel like that's unique and fun. And the second book of this comes out Tuesday, May 14th, I think. It's The Dixon Rule, and I'm so excited. Should be out when you're watching this. Basically these, I think, are just gonna be interconnected standalones following different characters. Not all of them are gonna be like the Off-Campus kids because the next one isn't, but you definitely see the Off-Campus characters in these books. So really enjoy this. It is long, but it doesn't feel long. Like, it's just so good. I didn't want to put it down. I flew through it. It's so fun to see the off-campus characters, but I also love these new characters and who we're gonna follow in the next book. So love those. And those are all of Elle Kennedy's sports romances. I feel like she's the queen of hockey romance. She's so good. And then the last, I think, college romance I have is, or college hockey, is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, which you've probably seen everywhere. Everyone talks about this book. It is very spicy, so be aware of that. But I do have books that remind me of Icebreaker without spice. But this follows Nathan and Stassi, and Nathan is a hockey player and Anastasia, or Stassi, is a figure skater. I just really love this. It's so sweet, and I feel like if you took out the spice, there's a lot of it, but if you took out the spice, it's a very wholesome romance. And I feel like I just love Hannah Grace's writing, how she writes romance, how she writes like communication and relationships, and I just really enjoyed this. It is a series, but the second one isn't really a sports romance. It follows a hockey player, but it's set at a summer camp, so it's more of that kind of vibe. It's not really a sports romance. And the third one is about another hockey player, I think, but I don't know if that's gonna be a sports romance. But anyways, really enjoyed this, a good time, and has college hockey. So now we are going to get into the professional hockey, and I think all of these except one are closed door. So the first is My Phony Valentine and My Lucky Charm by Courtney Walsh. So these are like holiday kind of vibes. Like My Phony Valentine is set around Valentine's Day, My Lucky Charm is set around St. Patrick's Day, but you definitely can read them any time of year, and they follow hockey players. I think they're teammates, and I really enjoyed these. My Phony Valentine I liked more, but I did really enjoy them. They're just fun hockey romances, closed door. I think they also follow siblings, so you get the brother Dallas in the first book, and then his sister is the second book, and then I think another sister's getting another book. But anyways, really enjoy these. You definitely don't have to read them around these holidays, but I did enjoy them. Next we have the DC Eagle series, I think is what it's called, and it is Desire or Defense, Flirtation or Face Off, Passion or Penalty, and then Betrothal or Breakaway just came out recently, and these are all interconnected standalone professional hockey sports romances. My favorite is Flirtation or Face Off. It's so good, but the first one is kind of like grumpy a little bit. The second one, he's kind of a player, but he's just obsessed with this one girl, and he wants to date her, and she is a librarian, or no, she's a history teacher or something like that. And then Passion or Penalty is like a little novella, and then Betrothal or Breakaway is a marriage of convenience, and I really enjoy these. Like I said, Flirtation or Face Off is my favorite, and they're all closed door, so highly recommend if you're looking for like a closed door series to read hockey. Love these, they're so good. And I think there's gonna be one more in the series, which I cannot wait for. Also, all these are teammates. I feel like most of the time when you get a hockey romance series, you're following the teammates, which is so fun. So you see them in the previous books. Really great time. Love these. Next is The Golden Goal by Anna Conwell. I love her books, and this was actually my first one by her, and it is so good. So it follows the hockey player and his physical therapist, and they're like brother's best friend, I think, situation. And it's closed door, really good. There's also going to be like 4 or 5 books in the series, and each one is gonna be about a different sport. And the next one comes out in June, and it's about golf. So I'm very excited for that book, and I really enjoyed this. I also just love all of Anna Conwell's books. Next is Powerless by Elsie Silver. This is in the Chestnut Springs series, so it is like small town cowboy romance, but this one specifically is a hockey romance because Jasper plays professional hockey, and I love Jasper. This is my favorite book in the series, and it's so good. I do recommend reading the series in order because I did love Flawless and Heartless, but Powerless is my favorite. If you skip those two and just read Powerless, I will forgive you, but I feel like you see Jasper so much in Flawless and Heartless that you should read those, and they're just good, and then read Powerless. But this series is very spicy, like a 4-5 on the scale, very spicy, but I just love this book so much. I love Jasper, I love the hockey vibes, and it's so good. It's best friends to lovers, or childhood friends to lovers, and it's just so good. So, and then the next one I actually forgot. I was just sitting here and remembered it. It is The Fake Out by Stephanie Archer. It's the second book after Behind the Net. I didn't enjoy Behind the Net, but I loved The Fake Out. It was really good. It is a like fake dating, I think, and like kind of a rival situation or like enemies situation. They don't really like each other, and they end up fake dating, and I really enjoyed this. It is very spicy, but I loved it. I loved it so much more than Behind the Net. I feel like it was more than just the spice, and the guy had me like giggling, kicking my feet. Loved this. Really good professional hockey. Okay, we are done with the hockey. Most of these are hockey because I mainly read those. I feel like most sports romances are hockey. Anyways, though, we're gonna get on to football. So first is The Cheat Sheet and the Rule Book by Sarah Adams. Who's surprised? I love these books so much. These are interconnected standalones, and this one follows Nathan and Bree, and it's best friends to lovers, and it's just so good. This is closed door, and it's just so cute. I love it. I love the found family with the hockey players. I also feel like I love that in all like interconnected standalones sports romances because I feel like the team just is like such a found family, and I love it. And the rule book follows Nora and Derek, and this one does have spice, but it's one chapter and you can skip it. It's at the beginning of the book. It'll tell you where the spice is and you can skip it. And this is basically Derek and Nora dated in college, and then Nora ends up being his agent for football, and he is the tight end for the LA Sharks where Nathan plays. So they're teammates, and I just love these characters. I love these books, and they're just so good. Such fluffy, good times. Highly recommend, and the rule book just came out. So you can read them in order, and then you have just a great time of football vibes. So love these. Okay, so it's dark now, so sorry, but the last one for football is One Last Play by Anna Conwell. Oh, there's the sun. And it is like the male main character is a football coach, and the female main character is a art teacher, and she ends up teaching his daughter. And this is the last book in the, what is it called? Sweet Peach series, I think, by Anna Conwell. Really enjoyed this book. I think it's my favorite in the series. I just loved it so much. Next is golf. I have one recommendation for that, and it is Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. This is very spicy. Her books are very spicy, but this was really good, really fun, and it follows Wells, who is like the hottest golfer, and he has this big fan, like his biggest fan, Josephine, and she ends up being his caddy for the tour. What is it called? I don't know, but she's his caddy for like the golf tour or whatever, and I really enjoyed this. It was a good time. I do recommend it if you're wanting like a golf romance. I do think that Anna Conwell's book that comes after The Golden Goal, The Perfect Putt, I think the blurb that I read, it sounds very similar to this, so if you want to read this but you don't want the spice, maybe wait for that to come out, because I think it's gonna be very similar. I will read it and let you know, but it does sound similar with like a golfer and his caddy. So I did enjoy this, but it's more for like you're wanting a spicier read, or if you don't mind spice, but it is about golf. So lastly is the Windy City series. This has multiple different sports, so I'll put it last, but I love the series so much. I love these books so much. So I DNF'd the first one, but I love the second and third one. And the second one is The Right Move by Liz Tomford. This follows Ryan and Indy. Ryan is a professional basketball player, and Indy ends up moving in with him. It's like best friend's brother. Yeah, best friend's brother, and they end up moving in together, roommates, forced proximity, and it's so good. I love this book so much. And then Caught Up is a baseball romance, and it's single dad nanny. So good. And then the next one comes out in June or July, I think, and it is called Play Along, and it's also baseball, and it follows the main character from Caught Up, his brother, and I'm so excited. So if you're wanting basketball or baseball, the first one is hockey, but I didn't finish it. You should read the series. It's so good. There is a good bit of spice, but it's just so good. I love these books so much, and I cannot wait for the next one to come out. So love these. And I found the physical copy at a Barnes & Noble in Ohio, and I'm obsessed. I cannot wait to reread this annotated, and I really want to get caught up and play along when it comes out. So anyways, that is it for the sports romances. I hope you found a book recommendation in this video. If you're wanting sports romance, if you want to start in sports romance, I feel like all of these are great recommendations. I feel like I had a good balance of spicy, non-spicy, college, professional, and I feel like I've come to like realize what I like. Sometimes I want a college hockey, sometimes I want a professional hockey, you know. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your favorite sports romance. If I haven't read it, please let me know, because I would love to read it. I feel like I'm always on the hunt for more sports romances because they are so good. I love them so much. I feel like it's definitely one of my favorite type of books to read. I just love them. So anyways, I'm gonna shut up. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you very soon for my next video. Bye.